we're live.
Hey guys,
Hi.
happy to see you all.
It is. It's good to be back.
We're in the car again,
Yes, it's the easiest way to get these done, to be quite honest.
and we're together, so
Yeah.
figure take advantage.
Why not? So we figure we talk about our biggest mistakes since we've been homeschooling, and I kind of think that we should also talk about some of the other mistakes that people make, like big
That
mistakes.
we've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had some doozies. I've seen some doozies.
Okay.
You're not gonna fall.
Back on track. Okay. I guess I'll start. Oh, also, my name is Lavonda if you're new.
I'm Diana, and we are Homeschoolific, and we homeschool for a long time now.
Yeah.
Like, watch one of our old videos to hear the whole spiel.
Right. So, I guess I'll start. One of the first, the main thing that I would say, or the biggest that I made, is over planning. It's always a thing.
That's a big mistake.
Yes. Yes, because like filling our schedule with too much, because then I always have to go back and readjust our schedule. I have to readjust like what subjects we're focusing on. It's a mistake. It's always a mistake, and it's a mistake that I make almost yearly.
I'm like, that's a mistake. I thought that was part of the process.
No, I think
like
that's
you overplan, you weed out what you don't really need. You know, I want to avoid that this year because I don't want to overbuy curriculum.
Yes,
you know?
That's a part of it, like over planning.
But then I have all these extra books.
I know, but sometimes we don't need them.
Now, okay, with
but
the world being what it is now,
I keep them, so I'm not gonna act like I'm sending stuff back. It's not true. I keep it all.
Right. I'm like, and you know, it's a nice thing to be able to show other parents. Like, remember that time when we had the parent meeting and we showed families all these different curriculums? That's because we hoard so much. Yeah. Was that a mistake? No.
Nah, it's not a mistake. I love curriculum. But I think just over planning our days, like trying to fill our days with too much.
She's gonna be our stabilizer.
I know, I'm trying to. With trying to fill our days with too much stuff, and we're on the freeway now, guys. So it is what it is at this point. So if our days are too filled, then also our there's not time to like really enjoy and do the fun things, because I'm trying to get all these things done that I knew I was just being really ambitious about. So
now that leads me to my first mistake: too much fun. I had a year of too much playing. And I actually correlate this mistake with listening to people that probably had good intentions tell me things that just doesn't work in real life. Like, my favorite line is, and I'm not trying to offend anybody, but you know, they'll learn more just sitting at home with you than they would in school. I guess depending on what your goals are.
Yeah.
Well, they will learn a lot. Arithmetic will not teach itself, people. Reading will not teach itself.
Right.
So, we played too much one year, maybe two. We really did. And then we were supposed to catch up in the summer and it didn't work out. And so, boy, that was a hard one that I learned, and that was tough. So, yeah, I think there's a balance between the playing too much and the over planning.
All right. This is killing me.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
All right.
We're back here.
You know, you just don't realize how much it shakes until you're on the camera.
I know. And I feel like, I mean, this is better, but anywho, so keep going. The playing too much. Yeah.
And when I say playing too much, I mean like doing all the fun things. We were leaving our second year of homeschooling, I would say, or maybe third. We were literally leaving the house 5 to 6 days a week doing homeschool events.
Yeah.
Leaving very little time
trips,
for parties, activities, part of multiple homeschool groups, leaving very little time for actual instruction.
Right.
And when we came back, doing it, and frankly, I wasn't doing it either. So that's kind of what I do.
Yeah. I think the other one for us is not planning in major life events.
How do you plan those?
I mean, like certain things, like if you know a move is happening, like not planning well for that, like expecting too much of myself during that time. We've had a big move happen, and in 2020 we moved from Nevada to Texas, right? And during that time we gave ourselves a little bit of a break. We're trying to jump back in. It wasn't enough. Trying to push ourselves to recover too quickly from, like, we got COVID in January. My whole family got it, and like trying to just jump back in and do all the things. Like, I think it more has to do with just not allowing that grace for ourselves, because we know, like, this isn't even realistic to have 2 weeks to make a cross-country move with no school, right? We need time to unpack. We need time to unwind. It just wasn't. And even if it was like still going back to school, expecting a full day of school was just not realistic. It wasn't realistic for our family. I still make this mistake, unfortunately. I'm trying to not make it again. We're actually planning, we'll be moving this month, and so my family will be still in Texas, but we do need to, we're moving into a new house.
It's not across country.
No, but we still need to prepare for the time that it takes to unpack and pack up, move, and then come back. So just allowing those days to be a bit more grace-filled, and maybe we focus on language arts this day, or math the next day, or something like that. And that's kind of been where I'm at now. But the expectation of a full day of schoolwork getting done during a major life event is not realistic.
I think also there's a balance in that one too, because you do need to know when you got to push. There are times when you're going to have to push past being tired.
Yeah.
You're going to have to push past I don't want to, and you're going to have to do it, which leads me to my next big mistake, is listening to, again, well-intended people give terrible advice. Terrible advice. Like, and I mean, for example, like saying stuff like, oh, this is just normal for kids, when and I guess really what I would say is not just listening to terrible advice, but also not listening to my gut. When I knew that I should have been doing XYZ, but I'm listening to these other people. Guys, if they don't have kids that are older than you that inspires you to homeschool, like you're not inspired by them,
right?
You should not be listening to them.
Or the way their kids turned out.
Right. If you're looking at their kids like, I'd never want my kids even around your kids, don't listen to their advice. If their kids are the same age as you, or they've been homeschooling less than you, don't listen to their advice. Listen to some
take
things.
It with a grain of
take it with a grain of salt. You just, you know what I'm saying? Like, LaVonda had found this homeschool mom, supposedly a homeschool mom, giving all this advice on YouTube, and she wasn't even living a homeschool life. It was like, she was pretending.
It was
like,
come
on, what are we doing here? Don't listen to those people.
Yeah, absolutely. She says, say that one. It's always the ones with the crazy kids, etc., who give the most parenting advice.
That's right. They want to tell you all about your life, and you're looking at those kids like, girl, I ain't listening to you. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. And I did that, and man, did that come to bite me in the butt later.
Ooh, another big one is comparing your kids to what other people's kids are doing, or comparing your homeschool to other people's homeschool.
Yes.
Like, why are we not accomplishing as much as this person is accomplishing?
Especially if there are families that do run a lot.
Yes.
And you're like, we have a mutual friend like that, where her family does stuff almost every day, and those kids are bright.
They are.
And I'm like,
they are.
But they have very high IQs.
Not everybody can't pull those types of things off. Like, we
Yes.
just have to be very honest with ourselves.
Who we are.
Yes.
Who are you?
No, if it's working for your family, let it work for your family.
Mm-hmm.
Do not be thrown off by what other people are doing and trying to keep up with the homeschool Joneses, because we get a small glimpse into what other people's lives are like. Even their homeschool lives are, what those are like, and whether we know them or not, we get a small glimpse into their homeschool life. We don't really know what's happening.
Yeah.
So if it works for your family, keep up with that. Don't compare your kids, because then it breeds this discontentment within your homeschool. Like, you're just never satisfied. It's just never enough. We didn't do enough. We didn't do this enough. If you see progress in your kids and you see them growing, obviously make adjustments where you need to, but don't compare. One, it's not good for you, and it's not good for your kids.
And there's a difference between collecting data, and comparison. So, like, I'm a huge proponent on collecting data. Like, let me find out, you're close, well, let me find out what you do, what you did, how this worked, how that worked, and then I'm going to kind of piece things together. I'm going to try things out, like, maybe so-and-so said this, and I'm going to try this out. One of the things we do every school year is we do like a mock week, especially if there's a lot of new changes, and then that week just helps me to tweak what we may need to change up, and so I really feel like, know that there's a difference between collecting data and comparison, and you can try these things, but if it doesn't work for you, or it works to do it differently or to tweak it, do that. That's, homeschool tends to be kind of like teeth. You can take a mold, a generic mold, and you can conform it to your teeth, but each set will be uniquely different, right? So that's what you want to consider with homeschooling. We all got so many teeth. We all need these teeth. They're made of the same thing, but the shape is all different.
Right.
Do you have another one? Oh, is it my turn to come up with?
Yeah, I think. Sure.
Not incorporating enough breaks or too many breaks in your day. We are breakers, and part of the reasons why our day is so long is that we do take quite a few breaks, and that works for our family. My core when I started homeschooling independently was Charlotte Mason, and that was encouraged. I also have out of my 5 kids, 3 of my kids are dyslexic, and so that kind of just works for us really well. So we do break decently, but you also don't want to break too much, and you don't want to break too little. You know what I mean? Like, even in a public school setting, kids typically don't go more than an hour before there's a break.
Yeah. I like to what I usually suggest is, my goal is for all my kids to be able to sit through what a college lecture would be. Like, let's pretend that you're in college. That's the first goal, so like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours
On the same subject?
No, of focus in school. Not the same it's not the same subject.
Well, you're switching, so that's
but
great.
Yeah, but within, like, without breaks. Like, let's focus for 2 hours, and then we'll take a short, idiom break, or or a dance break, or I let you go, this.
But switching subjects is also a slight break.
It is. I don't necessarily. I think it's a change of pace for sure. And I know that helps, but I do think that the ultimate goal is like 3 hours of like good focus. And that's kind of my goal for my high schooler. So 3 hours of good focus on your schoolwork, and then give yourself, a 30-minute break or whatever. But like focusing on the subject for much longer. Ooh, that was a good one.
Sorry.
It's not you, it's the roads.
Where we're going.
These Austin roads are brutal.
Man.
Yeah.
I saw a meme that talked about the Romans built these roads. They still exist. And then here, they build these roads that can't last a few months.
I don't know how we're doing this.
Oh my gosh, I gotta make another U-turn.
That's true.
Did I miss it? Oh, no, I'm good. I don't need to turn here. Oh, okay, so they want me to go past here. These roads are so weird here. Oh my gosh.
We'll make it. We're going for lunch, y'all. We're gonna have lunch. We needed to handle some stuff. Anyway, so breaks, yes. But I think that the longer you can help, if you're trying to like lessen the amount of breaks you take, if it works for your family, then that's awesome.
I'm gonna stop right here.
You're scaring me.
I'm sorry. He stopped right there.
He did.
He stopped and like, let me maneuver right here, right now.
If the breaks work for your family, then that's fine. But if you're noticing that, like, you know what, maybe we're starting to take too many, like, set a goal.
It'll
for how long.
stretch out your day.
Yeah, it does. It extends your school day.
It's a balance.
I can't think of any other mistakes that I feel like, any big mistakes. I feel like
sticking with the wrong curriculum or switching them out too quickly. A lot of people, they want to switch too fast. I do find switching it out too fast is usually the most common one in homeschoolers. But I have been, I've been guilty of, I bought it, I will make it work.
Yeah.
And sometimes some people just wrote bad curriculum. It was hyped up for the moment, and then you realized that you probably shouldn't have purchased this curriculum.
Yeah.
Like, that does happen. This is, like Lavonda heard me say this a lot of times. I don't ever want to be first, because I need to have other people go ahead and try this stuff out.
Right.
And then I need to find, like, if everybody's saying yay, 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 and no one's saying nay, I need to give it more time. Somebody has to dislike it, because there's always someone you can't please everybody.
No, not at all.
Give me the 1%, because I need to hear the negative side to make sure that negative, not in a bad way, but just like it doesn't apply to me, That, that's the thing. Now it wants me, I wonder if it doesn't know where it is.
Oh gosh, it's gotta be in here somewhere by Target. I feel like we're doing the same thing all over again.
It's telling me to make a U-turn.
Okay, go fine.
So the last time I had this happen, the address wasn't in there like it was supposed to be, and it kept feeling like the address was in anywhere. Yeah. It's trying to get me to make a U-turn again, so we're not
Yeah. Okay, well, we're gonna try and wrap this up now. But yeah, I think that's a good one. Holding on to a big mistake is trying to make a curriculum work that is not working for your family because you bought it.
Yeah.
And you're like, we
spent the money.
can suffer for a year, y'all. We can suffer for a year.
It's a real thing.
It is. Or doing too quickly, like, no, we did it for a few weeks, we didn't like it, so we cut it out.
Right. I mean, and that's just going back to doing your due diligence about making sure that you know what curriculum you're picking. You should not be picking curriculum on a whim. You should be like doing good research, doing your due diligence, making sure that's going to work. Especially if you're a first year homeschooler, I know that's a little harder, but excuse me, I have an unpopular opinion about first year homeschoolers, that especially if you're coming from a public school, I think if you're like taking your toddler or your preschooler in homeschooling, it's a lot more forgiving. Yeah. But if you're pulling your kids out of public school, it's probably best to do a box curriculum or something like that, because it's too many things to just go ahead and just say, all right, I'm gonna pull the pieces all together. Man, you're in an unknown.
It's unknown territory.
There's so many
Do
things.
The box curriculum, and
bless yourself.
It is. Give yourself time to adjust. It also gives you time to research, like your kids like true learning styles. That gives you a chance to understand like what it is that you enjoy about this curriculum, what you don't like, it helps you have time to better yourself as an educator, as a home educator, because you can focus on researching, following this curriculum, and then researching other curriculums. And so, is this the volume?
Sorry, I thought I was off.
That time to give the curriculum a chance. And if it's been 3 months and it's not working for your family, I think 3 months is really like a good cap. Like, all right, we are gonna switch this up, or
you have to keep supplementing. I was watching one mom talking about that. Like, she got caught up and she kept having to supplement, and eventually I was like, she was like, at some point she was like, I bought this curriculum and I was using supplements for the whole thing, and just she's like, we did 1 page, and I was like, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
Oh man, it says turn right.
So I'm trying to think if there's one last thing that we can say. The biggest mistake.
Delaying on homeschooling.
Waiting too long.
Yeah, if you feel like you should homeschool, just do it. There's very few drawbacks to trying it.
Yeah.
Only time I caution people to like really, really look into it is if you're going from in high school and starting to homeschool, just because usually when you do it that way, it's a more like permanent decision.
Keep going back and forth.
Right. But in all other circumstances, y'all can bounce around there all you want. It won't hurt a thing.
And also, when you wait, that's just more time that you'll need to adjust your child to like the homeschool way of teaching, right? You're adjusting to being home, you're adjusting to being around this child more. That's less, time that you have to kind of fall in love with, one another and learning and being a unit again. So the sooner you can, why not? That's my thing, is what's the harm?
It really isn't.
What's the harm? It's starting now.
Go ahead and do it. Find out who you are.
Yeah.
And and just kind of bless yourselves with that. We did it, and it was scary at first, but ultimately it really worked out. Our first year was really hard. I think I might have done a video about this. If I haven't, I'll have to do one. My first year sucked.
Oh gosh.
It was amazing that I still did. But in spite of all that, oh my gosh, the perks, the benefits were amazing, guys. Amazing.
Yes.
So it was like goals we wanted to accomplish happened.
Yeah.
So,
I would also say in the starting now part, if your kids, I guess this kind of goes back to doing too much. Oh gosh. If your kids are, hey baby. Say that one. Oh, I missed it. Okay. If your kids are young, not in high school, I'll put it like this, elementary level, and you're pulling them out of school, or you're just starting and they're, in kindergarten, and you're trying to figure out, if you don't go with the box curriculum, because I do understand that they can be more expensive, keep it simple. Reading, writing, arithmetic.
Yeah.
Reading, writing, arithmetic.
Oh gosh, yes.
Do not do anything more.
Put them in a co-op if you feel like you want all of the extra things.
Yes.
Do not go crazy.
If you can't afford the box curriculum, focus on your reading, writing, arithmetic, and make books available to them about these other things. That's the focus. What is this guy doing?
I think so we didn't have a lot of money to homeschool our first year that we went we went independent. Now, the first year we actually did virtual, but after that we did Ambleside online, and that was free, and we just had to buy the books, and they were all either at the library or used. And so it was $200 for 4 kids for a school year. So you break that down monthly, it's very inexpensive. You can do it, but I took their guide because I couldn't afford a box curriculum. I took their guide and I used it. We were also part of, I think we were part of a small co-op that year, and then we went into a bigger co-op the next year for the elective stuff mostly. This is my first year I've done more core stuff, really, kind of. I did one by accident, that's why I say kind of. And then, remember that one? It was like, oh, I already had all this covered, but, you learn.
Right.
So yeah, I feel like those kind of things are, but yeah, if you can't do a box curriculum, there's definitely, there's Easy Peasy.
Yeah, Easy Peasy.
Homeschooling.
Our niece uses that.
Yep, there's Khan Academy. These were all things I didn't have when we started homeschooling.
Yeah, that was... like the free stuff was not. Well, yeah, I think Easy Peasy was there. It just wasn't. I didn't necessarily choose it.
Yeah.
I'll put it like that. I was told I was having I was having babies. I had a baby. Was having a baby. And so I was trying to keep it up. So I didn't. We just did the reading, writing, arithmetic.
Yeah.
Because it was suggested by my aunt, who was a homeschool veteran, home educator, extraordinaire, and so yeah, I did that. And
which reminds me, if you guys go to our website, we actually have all these resources for you on the website.
Yes.
So go to www.homeschoolific.com, and we have these resources for you. It's 75.
Yeah, 75
resources for you, and they'll break it down from like free to low cost to I mean, it's broken down. We worked really hard on it, and use it. Like, it costs you nothing to get. You just go to the website, sign up for it, and you can have it. And yeah, it was a love. It was a
labor of love.
It was.
You know what was even more of a labor of love? Our how to homeschool, our homeschool ultimate homeschool guide.
Yep.
It's still free right now.
It is. We've been planning to.
It's still free,
and it's just we haven't.
I think it's just neglect. We've been neglecting to go in there and change it. But get it while you can. If you know people who are interested, tell them now, because I don't know that once we have more time to go in and make changes, that July it may not be free.
I know, it literally takes like 5 minutes.
It does.
Just haven't done it.
We haven't.
And we get people signed up to get it all the time, and people, just. It was a lot of work. We like broke ourselves making that. So please take it, use it.
It's 45 minutes from start to finish if you just go through the whole thing. But you're gonna want to stop and break.
It is dense. Lots of info.
You're gonna want to go and research what we're telling you. It's literally the ultimate guide. You will want to take notes. The ultimate guide for homeschooling. We go from how to setting up your homeschool class, your space, to learning your child's learning styles, to researching laws. Like, it's just so much. It's so in depth, and it's free right now.
It's free. Yeah,
it's free. So homeschoolific.com. You go there. You can still, the link to that course is available through there. So go ahead and sign up.
There's no reason for it. And it'll help you avoid these mistakes that we've already made.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the cool thing about having veteran homeschoolers to talk to, is that you don't have to make these same mistakes. Make your own, make them unique, and make less of them. And so that's kind of, I always tell my kids, choose your mistakes wisely. And you don't want to be, like, I've been in the boat where I've literally had to go to my prayer closet, painful mistakes that I just wish that I could have taken back. But a whole school year has passed, and what's done is done. So now I have to just kind of dust myself off and just try to do better next year. So let's not do that if we can avoid it.
Yeah, that's right. So I think that's all we got for y'all.
Yeah, if you guys have anything that you want to add, go ahead and put it down in the comment section below, because I'm sure there's a ton of mistakes that people have made that, we can learn from each other. But those are some of the hot ones, I feel like.
If you didn't hear your biggest mistake, go down and comment. Let us know what it is. We probably done the same thing and just forgot to say it.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah. Because, you know, maybe we corrected this soon enough. Yeah.
Right? If we don't remember.
Yeah.
Anywho.
All right.
We will talk to you guys soon.
Love y'all. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Let's go eat.
I think I'm car sick.
Might be. I got some.